Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome along to the point of relief session on Saturday mornings. It's a pretty brisk morning in Melbourne, but a nice morning to maybe be inside with the heater on and do some body improvement work. And today we're going to focus on triceps and biceps and loosening that out. This can relate to anything from tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, a loose volleyball swing, any throwing sport or gripping sport, so racket sport. Generally an area of the body that we don't care for a hell of a lot, so we'll see if we can spend some longer time releasing out, especially the triceps, which can really cause some pain up through your shoulder and even into your neck. So just getting some really deep, long-lasting release. So what we're going to do is to start with, we're going to lie face down on the ground, and we're going to start working through our triceps, so this area of our body. So the way we want to do that, pick your side, we'll work on both sides today. Is we want to be lying flat down, and we need to be able to extend our arm out all the way and then bend and extend it. So we're going to turn our wrist facing up. We want to have the point about, there's our elbow, a couple of centimetres up. You'll feel the muscly tendony bit, and we want to sit right on that. And we want to just try and let your arm relax, so the point's just, your arm's just hanging with all your body weight on it. When we're in that spot, we can just wiggle forward and back with your hand, and you might start getting some referral shooting down your forearm into your hand, possibly even up into your bicep or into your shoulder. And when we're in that position, like we do most weeks when we're releasing something, we want to bend all the way up and then let it extend back. Okay? Now, when we're going through that range of movement, you should feel a bit of a pull. It's like a shearing massage action coming through, so the pressure, the muscles are moving over that pressure. Okay, so that's a good thing. So we're hanging out on that spot. And when you straighten out, just really try and relax the arm. We don't want to hold it up here. We want to get it relaxed down so the muscle goes off tension and the point can really sink into the muscle. So keep going through that. Just going to give you a little bit more direction. So you keep going and just point your triceps to it. So we've got the band I want you to hit is quite a bit of a thicker bit here. We can also work more around towards the elbow. We want to try and get this sort of line there. Alright, so we're starting with that. And getting that movement, just reaching the hand forward and back is pretty much all you need to do. And finding whatever's comfortable for you with the other arm. You can relax your head down, you can actually relax your head on the arm. Whoa. Now if you're sort of a bit unsure if you're really getting it, get on the spot you think it is, just tip over a little bit. And if that's stronger, then you need to get a little bit more rotation in what's going on. Wow. Okay, so let's move a couple of centimetres up. Keep going on the same thing. So move your point or move your body. And just trying to start with some really relaxing on there. For me, it's much better if I'm slightly on my side. Takes a bit of stress out of my back too. And getting those movements. Oh. Flexion, extension through the elbow, and then that massage forward and back. And just play around with it. Maybe doing some of that massage when it's on stretch, with the elbow bent, and then straighten it back down. Keep going, keep going. So pretty much just working around and playing around with what activates a good release for you. If you start getting some buzzy feeling or a bit of shooting pain, cool, work through that. You know, don't shy away from it, even though it can be very uncomfortable. We want to make sure we do our best to really embrace that. Okay, so let's keep working through that tricep. And let's move again. So it's just moving slightly up. It should be about halfway up the tricep now. I don't know about you, but for me this is a pretty sensitive area. Certainly an area that I don't spend enough time on. I could probably spend 30 minutes just working through this tricep would be a bloody good idea for me. But we're not going to have that this morning. So get that little roll over if it helps you get into the belly. Keep going through that. I'm just going to switch my position around a little bit. And just trying to make sure that you're comfortable. And for me that was just aggravating my back a little bit. So I'm going to lie a bit more on my side. Right, in a bit of a fetal position here, which takes a bit of stress out of my lower back. Right, and making sure, because I can still hit that tricep really well in that position. Okay, let's move again. So we should be getting pretty high in your tricep now. We'll do this as the last one before we switch sides. Okay. And generally what you should feel is, because we're putting pressure straight down on the point, it's generally pretty stable. If you need some help supporting, just finger either side. Oh, wow. If it does all get a bit too much for you, what you can do is you can flip the point so it's on the broad side up, and you'll still get a release. It may not be quite as strong, but it's pretty good and it's quite broad that way too. Okay, so if you are really struggling with the amount of pressure, you can play around with it a little bit. And it was a bit too much from that. Right up the top on that last spot. Okay. Alright, let's just sit up and have a bit of a rest. So I've gone through one side, I'm going to do my left first, I'm going to go on to my dominant side now, my right. As I was just saying before, using the point side will be most aggressive, and using the broad side if it's a little bit too strong for you. I'm going to stick with the broad side because that point side was just a bit too rich for me. So, finding your spot, getting comfortable. I'm going to start just above the elbow, about 2 centimetres above the elbow. So elbow there, and then point, and just relaxing that arm. Making sure your wrist is facing upward. And we can start with those forward movements, forward and back, forward and back. And then some bend and stretch. Whoa. Generally, if you're playing a dominant arm sport, so if you're a volleyball spike or a tennis or a racket sport where you use one arm, or a throwing sport, your dominant arm will generally be a bit tighter. So you might need to spend a little more time on that dominant side. And just try and listen to it. So for me, this is shooting round straight into my bicep here. It's coming down my forearm a little bit too. And just moving slightly sideways, just remember I was saying to roll back a little bit on the last arm, just making sure that you're hitting that right spot. Every time we do a push-up or hold a prone position or anything like that, we really start loading triceps. So it is a muscle that gets used a lot, even if you're actually doing a tricep press or something, you do keep loading it all the time. So don't be surprised if you're not releasing straight away. It can take a long time. You might need to do a little bit more work than just our video here. Let's move a centimetre or two up the arm. Oh. Good morning. Trying to relax the arm as you do your movements. So don't hold tension in your hand either, try and relax it. If you haven't tried the broadside, give it a go on the broadside rather than the point. It also enables you to do a bit of rotation through your wrist so you can work just find the tight spots along that one line. I find that quite helpful personally. And if you get a nice tight one, then you can do some more movements and some more flexion extension through the elbow. Alright, let's move up another centimetre or so. Small movements. Get that movement back and forth. A little bit of friction through the muscle, through the tendon. If you're on the broad side, making sure you're doing some rotation through your wrist. So for me, when I get towards my thumb up, or even thumb rotated past, my wrist is actually down now. Getting some really good pressure, and it's hitting that sort of ulnar nerve area. And your ulnar nerve can really is part of the reason a bit of golf is elbow, tennis elbow, and all that sort of thing. That grip strength. When we get ulnar nerve obstruction, we can get into a lot of trouble with movements we want to make, and then gripping as hard as we'd like to grip. If you need some more pressure, you can simply push with your hand, or you can just relax your head on your bicep. Oh, mama. Oh. Oh. Okay, let's move up another centimetre or so. Making sure it's small movements, don't race up your arm. It should be about halfway between elbow and shoulder at the moment. And we want to work through the whole line of tissue, not just one little spot. And we slowly want to move our way up. So if we get through, say, maybe 6 or 7 spots on the way up, if we're moving about 1.5 to 2 centimeters each time. For all the students in high school or university, you might be doing more time on a computer because you've got remote learning at the moment. And again, that's going to cause, have lots of holding and sitting with the computer, which is going to affect yourself through here. Maybe you've got more typing than usual as well, more mouse movement. As we become more sedentary, it's important that we give our body the respect that it needs so it doesn't lose its active ability and flexibility. Ooh. Make sure we're continually trying to relax the arm and let it hang so you get that full weight pushing down into the tricep. I can feel already I'm going to play some really good golf this afternoon. A bit more freedom through my arms. Alright, let's move up again. So I'm really quite high in the tricep now, getting up into the bulk, the belly of the muscle. We say each week, taking the time to release muscles properly. Take the time that a professional practitioner might take on you. So if you're getting a massage, how long will they spend on a body part or on a muscle group? Well, that's the sort of time that you want to spend on a specific area, especially if you have some inflexibility or some pain or some injury there. Don't just work for 30 seconds, 1 or 2 minutes. Spend some time doing extended release. A bit more pressure, so I'm going to roll up onto it a bit more. Use my head. Oh, blimey. Maybe not. Alright, let's do a last movement up. So as you go through this, you should start to learn to feel what helps you. It's like, oh, I like it when I twist my arm, or I bend my wrist, or push down on the top of my hand to get some more pressure, rotate in and out. Right? So you finding the tight spots for you are really important. So it's not just about what I feel, because your tension might be at a slightly different spot to where my tension is. And that might be because the exercise I do, or the lack of exercise I do, or the exercise you do, or the lack of exercise you do. Okay, let's have a sit up. Just a bit of a shake in the arms. Now if you lift your arms up, they should feel nice and light, like you can really extend up high. Right, and just bend and flex. You might feel a bit of pain, like, oh, wow, that's a bit sore, because all the work you've just been doing. Okay, we're going to switch to the front of the arm now, so we're going to work through the bicep. Okay, so we've just worked through the back, our tricep here, now we're going to come into the front part. We're still using our point. So what we're going to move to is we're going to hold our point. So I'm going to work my non-dominant arm first, which is my left arm. Okay, so I want to hold the point in my right hand and have it just nicely placed in my hand so I can get a good grip. Okay, you can also do this with your fingers, but they get a bit fatigued, that sort of thing. This just gives us a good broad base, a nice solid point with a bit of weight behind it. So, palm facing up. I'm going to start down towards, there's my elbow, I'm going to come up about 5 centimeters, right, and use my point and just start doing a circular massage. Okay, a little bit of a side view. Alright, you can see my point there. Just doing pretty much a circular massage, just getting a spot and working through that. Now, the reason we're doing a circle is just so you can do a bit of discovery. Right? Where is my tension point? What am I actually feeling? Right? Once you feel you've got something, okay, I've got something out there. Right? Then just small, shrinking that circle a little bit, so you're making a smaller movement on that one spot. Okay. Now you can do this seated in a chair if you want, or leaning against the back of the couch or something like that. So just making sure that you're getting pretty comfortable. Now once you do have a bit of a sensitive spot, we do that static massage, so we're on the spot there. And I'd like us to get some extension and flexion. So we need some pressure and pressure. Now you can release the pressure as you bend your hand up, but make sure you increase the pressure when you're straightening it. Okay, so when we're going into the flexion, flexion, just reaching up, less pressure, extension, straightening, more pressure. Right? Less pressure, push, more pressure. Right? And then just give it another working. Alright? And we're just working across that spot about 5 centimeters above the elbow for the moment. So stick on that distance from the elbow and just working on what you feel is giving you where your tension is. That's a good one for me. Now again, biceps is a funny one. It's not often that we get a bicep massage or anything like that, so generally it's going to be a slightly undercared for part of the body, but we use our biceps in things like chin-ups, push-ups, bench press, rowing, TRX work, prone work, anything you're really doing, you push-up is part of the stability of your arms. So it is important that we do take some care for them. And really get right towards the inside as well. down around that sort of ulnar nerve again, just from a different angle. It's a good spot for me, right on the top. Okay, so I was 5, let's go up to about 7 centimetres now. Okay, from your elbow crease, which is down there. And just do some discovery first. Give a bit of a side view. So I'm just moving it up and down as far as my skin wants to be flexible and move. So it's not that I'm sliding it up and down. Alright, as far as the skin moves, is as far as the point's going to move. And make sure you're working all the way across and around at some point. There's a good one for me. Some extension and flexion. Flexing up, extending down, whilst maintaining that pressure, especially on the extension part. Working that broad range all around the muscle, yeah, on that line, about 7 centimetres up from the crease. Again, for me, the inside line is probably the most sensitive one. It's okay, straight on top's quite sensitive, but inside here, I get sort of that dull-ish, neural-ish sort of ache. I must admit, I do like that feeling. It's a feeling for me that it's doing something for me. Okay, so crease, we were 5, we were 7, let's go up to about 9 or 10, so we should be about halfway between elbow and shoulder. Right, we're into that spot. Always a ripper. Hello, fingers. Circular work, straight up and down, across, just working and discovering what for you feels like it's giving you the best release. It doesn't really matter what the best for me is, we're trying to release your body, not mine. again, for me, that slightly inside line is really good. Ooh, shooting pains. Okay, let's move our last one. So we're up above halfway, maybe halfway between the middle and shoulder. For me, not a lot of tension up here. That's just me. If it's you as well, so be it. Again, I do find it certainly more towards the inside of that arm. Okay, very nice. Let's have a switch over. Okay, so taking the point into your left hand, or just switching, so whichever one you were on. I'm just going to switch a little bit as well, so I can have a bit of support from my back. Okay, so we're holding the left. We're going to go crease in the arm, 5 centimeters above to start with. Okay, so looking into that spot. And starting static, just getting some up and down little circles, but not moving around up and down. Just moving as far as the skin wants you to move. So on that spot I'm getting right up, nice little shoot up here. Nice, I'm going to keep working through that. Making sure we're staying just in that 5 centimeter region, but we can move all the way around inside, just not up and down. There's a good one, more towards the inside. Making sure we get that extra pressure when we're on the way down and we're extending it out. Okay, let's move up a centimetre or two. With the flexibility through your skin, there will be some overlap when you move up. That's good. And it just ensures that we're working the whole line of tissue. We're not missing spots. When you have a massage, the masseur doesn't sort of work down here, then just lift and stop and continue working. Right, they generally work the whole line, so we need to make sure we're trying to work the whole line too. Release the pressure, push harder on the way down. Okay, let's move up again. We should be around the middle of the bicep now. So between the crease in your elbow and end of the bicep. Whoa, hello. As much as you can, just make sure you can continually remembering to relax your shoulder. So we don't want to be gripping it up here because it stops the penetration of the point. Right, we want to make sure it's pretty jelly so we can really penetrate in. Push and push. Alright, we'll do our last move. A little bit higher. Whoa. Funny there in that one for me. This is my dominant arm, so more spiking and more golf grip and more everything with this one. Squash. Alright, we're getting close to time. In fact, we've probably gone a little bit over. We're going to finish up just there. So let's just have a bit of a shake in the arms. Maybe even lift overhead. If you really extend out and flex it, you should hopefully feel that there's just not as much tension being held. Now, what I think it's important to try and take away from this little instruction is that we don't just want to work on the big muscle groups. So we can't just release quads or glutes or hamstrings or your lower back. Right? There's so much work that gets done through your arms and biceps and triceps. We're only the start of it. In the future we'll work through our forearms as well. But yeah, so making sure that you care for the bits of your body that get undercared for if you ever do get a massage or treatment. Happy pointing, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you next week. Oh, and next week we're going to move to a 9 a.m. Saturday instead of 10 a.m. All right. I'll see you soon.